tonight's game, WGN Sports presents The Bullseye.
Participating advertisers in tonight's Bullseye, Bud Dry. Why ask why? Try Bud Dry for refreshment that's beyond question. Your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Toyota dealers. Toyota, I love what you do for me. And by Burger King, where you always get great tasting food your way, right away.
Live tonight from Chicago Stadium, it's NBA basketball on Channel 9 as the Atlanta Hawks take on the Chicago Bulls in an NBA Central Division showdown. Good evening, everybody, from Chicago Stadium. I'm Dan Roan. Happy holidays, and thanks for being with us tonight on the pregame show, The Bullseye. Pregame look at Bulls basketball on Channel 9. Chicago Stadium tonight, one of hundreds of venues around the country celebrating the 100th birthday of basketball. It was December 21st, 1891 that Dr. James Naismith nailed up those peach baskets at the YMCA in Springfield, Massachusetts. Now, should the good doctor make a comeback of some sort, I don't think he'd recognize the game that he invented today, especially on the NBA level. But one thing that wouldn't take very much research for him to find out is that the Bulls are having a spectacular season. Last night in the Meadowlands in New Jersey, they won their 19th game in 23 tries as they took on the Nets. Part of the big sellout crowd there, Marla Maples and Donald Trump. And here's what they came to see. B.J. Armstrong to Michael Jordan for the poster play in the first quarter. But the Bulls had to fight to get the lead in the first half. They got it by 3. Michael to Horace at the first half buzzer, 50-47. Then they exploded in the third quarter, outscoring the Nets 38-21. A three-point play here for Stacey King. But Grant was the difference last night. Horace with a career-high 28 in the game, 12 in the third period, as the Bulls ran away with this one, 115-98 over the Nets. And tonight, in yet another back-to-back situation, the Bulls take on the Atlanta Hawks, a team that's gone right down the middle of the road so far in their season. 24 games, 12 wins, 12 losses. They're 7-5 at home, 5-7 on the road. So playing it pretty straight so far this year, but a very dangerous club, as we all know. Right now, more on both these teams in tonight's scouting report. In years past, Atlanta's backcourt has been anchored by a couple of the NBA's more familiar faces, Doc Rivers and Spud Webb. Not anymore. Those two hit the road during a summer of dealing that really didn't change the face of the club, just a few tucks here and there that may save Coach Bobby Weiss some wrinkles before it's all over. The leader of this new force in Atlanta continues to be Dominique Wilkins, and that doesn't figure to change for some time. Coming off his best season ever, the Neek is having another terrific year, running second to Michael Jordan in league scoring during the first 20 games. Wilkins dropped a 52-point load on the Knicks 2 weeks ago. Obviously, he's a threat to post up some huge numbers every time he hits the floor. And when Dominique and Michael go chin to chin, as they will tonight, it's always special. Wilkins had shouldered the rebounding load for the Hawks last year, but that too has changed because of Kevin Willis. He credits concentration, but most coaches are wondering what's happened here. The ninth-year pro grabbed a solid 8+ rebounds a game last year. Now, Kevin Willis is getting 17 boards a night, with an NBA season-high 31 against Dallas earlier this month. That's led to an increase in point production, too. Willis close to 18 a game, second on the club to Wilkins. So, as Dominique and Kevin go, so go the Hawks. Blair Rasmussen is a new face in the front court, coming over in a trade from the Denver Nuggets. And Rumeal Robinson is running the offense for the Hawks, the second-year man out of Michigan, beginning to assert himself at the point. He gets backup help from the veteran Mo Cheeks. Rookie Stacey Augmon is another one to watch. The Hawks' #1 pick out of UNLV, Augman has made a quick transition to the pro game, averaging in double figures as a full-time starter. Bobby Weiss doesn't have this club where he'd like it to be. The Hawks are hovering around the 500 mark, a playoff-caliber team not yet good enough to challenge for a championship, but dangerous every time they take the floor. As for the Bulls, they've cruised through the first quarter of their schedule with the best record in the NBA. Carrying the weight of the World Championship around the league has been an easy burden for the Bulls to bear. Only 6 of their first 25 games have come against Central Division opposition. If they continue to play as well as they have, the Bulls will build on their division lead in face-to-face games such as tonight's with Atlanta. Bill Jackson has gotten steady play inside from Stacey King and Horace Grant, but they're yearning for the return of Bill Cartwright, who's still missing with the broken hand. Cartwright's presence on defense has really been missed, and the Bulls will need that to keep a headlock on the rest of the NBA. Right now, let's continue on that same vein. We go down to courtside where Johnny Kerr is standing by, ready to do the game tonight along with Wayne Larrabee. John, what about Bill Cartwright? When can we expect him to come back to the team?
Well, you know, he's working out pretty much now. The one thing they're trying to do is to keep him from handling the ball with that left hand. Dan, you know, the Bulls are 12-2 without him, and they went on that West Coast trip, of course, and it didn't seem like they missed him at all. But that's not where you find those big stud horses that you got to play against. You find him in games like tonight when you're playing against the Kevin Willises and the Concacts and the Dominique Wilkins, guys that can rebound. Last night, it would have been a perfect time to need him going against Big Sam Bowie and Derek Coleman in that big front line, shot-blocking front line that they have with New Jersey. Now, Bowie had 16 rebounds, which was his season high. Tonight, we play a guy that gets that many every game out, Willis.
That's right. It's going to be a big challenge inside for Horace Grant and for Stacey King and Will Perdue and whoever plays up there. How do you make of the way those guys have played so far, John, for one thing? And do you think they may be beginning to wear down some against this big opposition they go up against almost every night?
They really are getting some bumps and bruises. They're taking their lumps. I think they finally are realizing and appreciating what Bill Cartwright does when he's in the lineup for this ball club. But I think it's been great again that Stacey King is getting some time playing in the center. He's playing very, very well. Last year, he had a real bummer year, and I'm sure he'd admit it himself. But this year, he's playing with a different type of dedication. He's lost some weight. He's rebounding very well. He's shooting well from the field. He's knocking in his free throws. He's adding a big part of the offense for him. But I know they can't wait to get Bill Cartwright back, because when you start to play against the Dohertys and the Ewings in our conference and in our division, this is what you need Bill for.
Real quick, I know you're looking forward to this as much as I am. Dominique and Michael up against each other again.
Human highlight films. I like it. Both of them way above the rim. These guys are like going to the circus. And the one show you don't want to miss is when the high wire act comes out, and it'll be out with these two guys tonight, Dan.
All right, John, thanks very much. Happy holidays, and we'll see you later on when the game begins. And we'll come back with more on the Bullseye in just a moment. Right now at Chicago Stadium, an empty floor, but the crowd is beginning to build. Another sellout coming in here tonight. In about 30 minutes or so, we'll have the tip-off, the Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks here on Channel 9. In the NBA news, there's been kind of a lull in the off-the-court activity around the league this week. Not much going on with the exception of New Jersey, and we'll talk about their coaching situation in just a few minutes. Right now, though, some of the key games from around the league last night. Atlanta was in action. Bobby Weiss looking for some divine intervention, but not getting much against Cleveland last night. First half, Brad Daugherty, Larry Nance, a nice dish. Cavs playing very well and holding down second place in the Central. Defensively, these guys battle you. Loose ball, Dominique rejected by Hot Rod Williams. Here comes Snoopy, though. Paul Graham, a USBL reject, who's playing some solid minutes for the Hawks. Unfortunately for them, not solid enough to win last night, though. Daugherty had 17 points, 10 boards. Easy win for the Cavaliers, 122-99. Santa Claus among the crowd in the Palace last night. I got a complimentary skybox through here to watch the Pistons and Lakers play. End of the first half, AC Green loads it up for three. Tie game, but wait just a second. Bill Laimbeer, touchdown pass to John Sally. Detroit by 2 at halftime, 56-54, and Detroit went on to win this one easily. Dumars had 28 points. Dennis Rodman, 12 points and 22 rebounds as the Pistons take this one, 112-93. That knocked L.A. right out of first place in the Pacific. Their loss coupled with Golden State's win over Portland in Oakland. The Warriors knocking away. Chris Mullin on the break. Dropped it back for Sarunas Marciulionis. Sweet play by Mullin, who made a whole lot of them in this game last night. Defensively, you see him submarine Jerome Kersey and take it away. Mullin's on his way for 2 of a season-high 40 points. Portland cut a 19-point lead down to 3 with 3 minutes left, but Golden State won, and Rick Adelman's team leads in the Pacific by 1 game. As for the coaching situation out in New Jersey, the latest report we have is that Jim Valvano has agreed to a 5-year contract worth more than $500,000 a year. He won't take over right away, though, replacing Bill Fitch. He may wait until after Christmas. That a newspaper report from the Charlotte Observer. If that's true, the salary that Valvano will get will make him in the upper echelon among the NBA coaches, probably in the top half anyway. So expect Valvano to get that job sometime after Christmas Day. One other item of note tonight, a merger in the NBA between the president and owner of the Atlanta Hawks and a Hollywood tycoon. Ted Turner and Jane Fonda tied the knot today at Ted's Florida plantation, the third marriage for each of those two. Let's hope the Hawks don't give him a Christmas present early tonight here when they take on the Bulls in a few minutes. And it's going to be a Merry Christmas for a lot of underprivileged kids around the Chicago area, thanks to the Bulls' generosity. Rich King has more on that story.
The Bulls gave up an hour of their off time to be with the kids, a more generous gesture than any material offering might be on Christmas. Not to say, though, there were no goodies. The kids got shoes from Nike and Michael Jordan and burgers from McDonald's. As you might imagine, Michael was the center of attention. Michael, what's your Christmas wish this year?
Just to be home. I wish I was glad to be home for Christmas.
You're playing basketball, though, that night, huh?
I know, but I'll be all right.
But Michael Jordan is not the only Bulls hero. There are plenty of stars to choose from, and the kids spoke out. Anybody here like anybody else but Michael Jordan?
DJ.
DJ?
Yeah. Scotty. John Paxson. I like John Paxson.
Why John?
Because, well, I like the way he play, and he good at three-point.
The Bulls play Boston on Christmas night, but away from basketball for a moment, I asked some of the players to define their perfect Christmas.
But this year, I'll get the chance to see my two sons. They're 5 and 2. Get up and open their presents, and I think you can relive a lot of what you felt as a child when you have your own. I look forward to that.
It would be spending it with the entire family back home with total world peace, I think, with no fighting in any other country, and everybody just with their family. With a good meal on the table.
The perfect Christmas is just being able to be at home all day and enjoy the day at home, but I don't think that's happened for quite a while.
Unfortunately, my parents come up every year and, maybe play the best game that I can play, against the Celtics, maybe. That'd be a good gift, I guess, for myself and my family.
The Bulls host this party every year, and everybody has a good time here. But instead of me having the final word, let's bring in somebody else for a final thought on Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody, and have a Happy New Year.
Yay! Rich King, WGN News.
I think that was a setup line that Rich got for Santa Claus. I don't know. I'll have to ask him when I see him later on. We'll come back with more on the Bullseye in a moment. Get you caught up on the league standings and much more after these messages. Welcome back to Chicago Stadium, where the Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks are expected onto the floor momentarily to begin their pregame warm-ups. You know, we've passed the quarter pole now in this NBA season, over 25% of the way through, and some pretty tight races throughout the league with the exception of the Central Division. We begin out in the Pacific, where Golden State, by virtue of the win over Portland last night and the Lakers' loss in Detroit, has taken a one-game lead over L.A. with Portland, Phoenix, and Seattle, and the surprising L.A. Clippers all right in there, just 3.5 games separating the first 6 teams in that division. Moving on to the Midwest, Utah holding a lead of 2 games over Houston. San Antonio just a half game behind the Rockets. Denver doing relatively well compared to last season. Dallas struggling, and so is Minnesota. Just 4 victories in 22 games for the T-Wolves so far this year. In the Atlantic Division, the Boston Celtics, with Larry Bird coming back healthy, have done a great job, 17-7, tied with the Knicks in the loss column, but leading them by a full game as we start the action tonight. Philadelphia has struggled, and now in the Central Division, the Bulls with the biggest lead by far of any division leader, a 5-game lead over Cleveland, with Atlanta, the opponent tonight, coming in here 7.5 games behind. And our guest on the pregame interview tonight is a man who knows plenty about both these ball clubs. Cliff Levingston, a former Atlanta Hawk, now an integral part of the Bulls, talked earlier tonight with Wayne Larrabee.
Well, thank you very much, Dan. It's a pleasure to have with us Bulls forward Cliff Levingston, and we know Cliff, of course, as good news for that infectious smile and the spark you provide to the lineup each night to come in.
Well, I just try to do something when I get out there on the floor. I just, whether it's on the offensive end or defensive end, just do something, let people know I'm out there, and let the team know that, hey, it's time to go.
Cliff, let me ask you about this Atlanta ball club. This is your former team. They've done a lot to kind of break it up from when you were there. How much different a ball club is this going to be for you to play tonight?
Well, it's basically a different ball game totally. Only guys there really are, Concak, Kevin Willis, and Dominique Wilkins, and Dwayne Farrell. But other than that, it's a totally different facelift. They're playing a different style of basketball also, with Bobby at the control. So. Basically, you just have to just control Dominique and keep Kevin Willis on the wraps, and we're going to be all right.
Let me ask you, you win the NBA championship, a lot of momentum at the end of last year. You come into this season, and you get off to a tremendous start as a team. How much of that is a residue of what you accomplished last June?
Well, everybody was saying that we got it one time, it was luck, but to do it 2 times, it's you're proving something. So I think this year we came in proving something to ourselves. You know, this year we're trying to win a championship for ourselves, opposed to the fans, the city. We just want to let everybody know that, hey, we do have it. We are hungry. You know, we came in this the season last year, and everybody was saying, "Are we hungry?" Coming this year, said, "Are we hungry?" We're hungry, and we're going to let everybody know that we're hungry.
Well, Cliff, when you were acquired last year, the word was that Cliff Levingston was picked up, so the Bulls had some muscle, some extra force against the Detroit Pistons. You were selected especially for the Pistons series, and you really came to the fore in that series, didn't you?
Well, I got some consistent minutes. Whenever you get some consistent minutes and you know you're going to be out on the floor for some time, you're not afraid to go out there and do little things that may turn into a mistake or two. And Phil had the confidence in me to go out there and play good defense and contribute on the offensive end. And that's what I just went out there and did, just played confident and played without a care.
What about Cliffmas, the party you've got coming up tomorrow night? Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, each year I have a big black tie fundraiser around Christmas time, and I've been having it for the past 6 years, and it's called the Cliffmas Ball. And this year we've chosen Inglewood Family Center to be the charity who's going to receive contribution, and also the Baby Quinn Foundation. And we're also giving 6 scholarships to seniors in high school. So, you know, this year we've added a few more people to the list, but you know, it's always good to give it during Christmas time, you know. And then we also have a Christmas tree that we set up there that people bring toys, because we have a big Christmas party Monday, December 23rd, at the Inglewood Family Center for the kids who are underprivileged. And most of the women at the Inglewood Family Center are the age of 12 to 18, the Parents Too Soon program, and that's what the fund is going to help them out a little bit, because right now, you know, they're kids and they're having kids, so we want to try to help them in life.
And we wish you all the best. Thanks, Cliff. Have a good game tonight.
Well, thank you. I plan on doing it.
All right, let's go back to Dan Roan.
Thank you, Wayne. The true Christmas spirit coming out in Cliff Levingston. Tip-off approaching. We'll be back to wrap it up on the Bullseye in just a moment. Michael Jordan was out early shooting at about 5:30 this afternoon, warming up for his battle with Dominique and the Hawks tonight. We'll get to the tip-off in just a few minutes, but before we send you there, we want to get you caught up on what's going on in the NBA tonight. Boston having a struggle with the Heat down in Miami in the first half, and also in the first half, Cleveland with a 10-point lead over Charlotte. Utah and the Knicks 40 apiece in the second quarter. Other games, Jersey and Indiana also in the second, with the Pacers up by 2. The Clippers in Minnesota just underway. Clippers trying to get yet another victory that would be their 9th in a row if they can beat the T-Wolves tonight. Our next Bulls telecast here on Channel 9 comes up Monday, December 30th at Indiana against the Pacers. One of the great grudge matches in the Central. That's a 6:30 tip-off time Central right here on Channel 9, December 30th. And we're out of time for the Bullseye. Dan Roan, for all of us that work on the show, have a terrific holiday, everybody, and enjoy the game tonight. The Atlanta Hawks and Chicago Bulls right here on Channel 9.
Participating advertisers in tonight's Bullseye: Bud Dry. Why ask why? Try Bud Dry for refreshment that's beyond question. First of America, one of the Midwest's biggest banks, but only when you want us to be. Your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Toyota dealers. Toyota, I love what you do for me. And by Burger King, where you always get great tasting food your way, right away.
The following is a WGN-TV sports presentation. 'Twas just days before Christmas, and all through our town, the Bulls have us thinking about another championship crown. The banners are hung from the stadium with care, in hopes that the playoffs soon will be there. Though the season is young, for our heroes in red, dreams of a repeat dance in their heads. After winning the title, they're the targets of all. The opposition can't wait for the tip of the ball. Past Detroit, around Cleveland, through Milwaukee they ran. Out west, back east, in Boston, where that winning streak began. But it's the holiday season, and with that in sight, Merry Christmas to all, and let's beat Atlanta tonight. Season's greetings from Chicago Stadium as the Chicago Bulls play host to the Atlanta Hawks. Hi, everybody. I'm Wayne Larrabee. The Bulls have won 18 of their last 20 games. They are 1-1 this week with a victory last night in Jersey, a loss on Tuesday night to the Lakers here at Chicago Stadium. Always a pleasure to have alongside Johnny Red Kerr. And John, tonight's game with Atlanta, I guess, can be dubbed the matchup of superstars.
Well, two superstars is right. When you've got a guy like Dominique Wilkins and a guy like Michael Jordan, there's a lot of things that they have in common. So what do? You go to the head coach of the Bulls and say, Coach, what do these two guys bring to a team?
Well, both of them come every night to perform. I can't remember games that they've missed offhand over the last few years. Both of them play 82, 81, or 80 games a season for years, and that's part of being a scoring champ. The other thing is that both can carry their team to a point where they can compete in game after game after game. Dominique, now without the talent he had a few years ago, younger talent alongside him is going to have to bring this talent into, prominence. He's carried this team for a number of years. They're always competitive when he's on the floor. And Michael, when he was younger, kept the Bulls competitive for a number of years while their talent pool collected. And now at this time, he's got the array of stars to go along with his talent. And so that's one of the reasons we're dominating this league now, and the Atlanta Hawks aren't.
Interesting comparison of the two superstars. Together, they lead the league in scoring.
They have. They both led the league in scoring. Right now, they're running 1-2. Michael in first place, Dominique in the second spot.
And there will be a war on the boards here tonight.
Last night, we ran into a great physical team that could rebound. But tonight, you'll see Horace Grant, who had one of his best games, his career high scoring-wise, with 8 points in New Jersey. But he'll have his hands full because he's going to run into one of the real tough men in this league, and that's Kevin Willis, who's averaging almost 19 rebounds a game, 20 points.
All right, we should have a good one here tonight. The Chicago Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks. They're up and standing at the stadium, and we'll be back with the starting lineups of the opening tip when we continue. Set for the starting lineup, Chicago Stadium public address announcer Ray Clay.
A 6'8" forward from Georgia, Dominique Wilkins. At center, 7 foot from Michigan State, Kevin Willis. At one guard from Michigan, 6'2" Rumeal Robinson. At the other guard, 6'8" from UNLV, Stacey Augman. The Atlanta Hawks are coached by Bob Weiss, assisted by Johnny Davis and Bob Weinauer. The trainer is Joe O'Toole.
And Hawks ready to go. Phil Jackson just a couple of victories away, actually 3 to be sure from passing Doug Collins to becoming the second winningest coach in Chicago Bulls history. The Hawks 12-12, 5-7 on the road, 7-5 at home, and the Bulls with a record of 19-4, 9-2 at home and 10-2 on the road.
Bulls trying to regroup here at home after losing to the Lakers. They've been able to win on the road. Matter of fact, more times than they've been able to win in this building. They're 10-2 on the road, 9-2 in the favored confines here.
And that's an unusual stat for most any team in the NBA.
Absolutely. It's normal to see guys winning at home, but you see that team winning on the road, that is your sign of a true champion and a team that might be able to do it again this year.
Another full house on hand, 202 consecutive sellouts here at Chicago Stadium. There's Michael Jordan. He hasn't loaded up yet, has he?
No. Both teams played last night and
load him up.
Oops, excuse me.
Here he comes. That's for you, Red.
You too, Wayne. Looks like a Merry Christmas, everybody.
That's right. A little powder there. Tip-off tonight's overhead camera shot is brought to you by the Upper Deck Company. Nobody does basketball like Upper Deck. That's quite a view of the opening tip right there as we get set to go. Atlanta has 4 7-footers on the roster. 2 of them start. It'll be Pippen and Ellis. Or I should say Willis on the tip for the Hawks, and Kevin Willis tips it to the backcourt. Ramil Robinson sets it up. Robinson out of Michigan. A lot of people think the way he goes, so go the Hawks on many nights, but really the keys up front are Willis and Wilkins. Kevin Willis. Jordan claims the rebound, and here come the Bulls. Paxson freed up wide open. Paul Snoop Graham on the rebound. Ramil Robinson. Kevin Willis, stepped by Stacey King right now. Willis muscles inside. Willis again, blocked by Horace Grant. Good defensive sequence for the Bulls. Jordan in transition.
Yes, sir. All the way, wire to wire.
Robinson penetrating. Nice dish. Pass knocked away, and Willis had it knocked out of play by the Bulls. It'll belong to Atlanta.
Well, Willis getting a wake-up call here early. The ball going through him early, but he's getting some shots blocked, and they'd like to establish, I think, go right through Stacey King, maybe draw a foul or 2 off of him.
On the drive, Augman off the mark. He has really struggled from the floor shooting the basketball. Jordan on the drive.
Yes, sir. He took off a little far that time, Wayne, but he had enough of the finger roll. That ball just went in the hole motionless.
He hangs so long.
Yeah.
I mean,
an underhand hang.
Bulls lead in the early going. Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah, he shoots that ball and so high, and he fades back. It's a beautiful looking shot.
I was going to say, puts a lot of arc on that ball, doesn't he? Jordan sets it up for the Bulls. Pippen to Horace Grant, guarded by Wilkins. Horace on the turnaround. Air ball. Wilkins. Willis the rebound. Here comes Robinson on the drive. This is what they'd like to see him do a little bit more of.
Yeah, he did. He took it all the way to the hole.
They want Ramil to break down the defense on the dribble more. Scottie Pippen. Nicely done off the baseline.
Well, the 3 stars have done their work, haven't they?
They've gotten it going, let's put it that way. I don't know if I'd say they've done their work. Snoop Graham from the outside. Kevin Willis. Willis leads the NBA in rebounding. Over 16 a game. Scottie Pippen in transition, and right now the Bulls are beating the Hawks down the floor. 4 for Pippen in the early going. Wilkins looking for Willis, and Willis got a paw on it, but did not haul it in. Phil Jackson patrolling the sidelines, and on the inbounds attempt, stepped over the line.
He started to step in to throw it to Paxson, and Ramil Robinson picked Pax up, and then he stepped back over. Take a look. Here he gets it. He just starts to step in. Whoa, I can't do it.
Wilkins missing from the outside. Augman blocked by Jordan, but a foul. foul is on Michael. It's the first foul of the game.
Shot missed to the side. Augman goes up, gets the foul. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Stacey Augmon had 12 points against Indiana the other night on 5 of 12 shooting from the field. He's really struggled with his shot. Augman, of course, a first-round selection out of UNLV. 1 out of 2 at the line. Bulls with a 1-point lead as Paxson brings it up. Pax finds Pippen on the weave, and Scotty had it knocked away by Snoop Graham. Jordan baseline. Good look for Horace Grant. Graham commits the foul. Paul Snoop Graham, his mother gave him that name. He was an inquisitive little kid. He used to look around a lot around the house. Called him Snoop, and it stuck. There's the foul right there.
Horace Grant, perfect 10 for 10 from the line last night. Got that career high that we talked about. He was flirting with it all year. He had 4 times he got 22, trying to crack that 25 barrier, and doggone if he didn't last night.
Phil Jackson put him back in the game late, or in the 4th period of play, to get that
Phil
high.
said to me before the game, he said, I think he could have got 40 last night.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been big time for Horace. But he's been playing that way.
You know, I'll tell you, John, in a lot of these back-to-back situations we've been talking about, the Bulls have been able to get some rest for their starters by blowing out the first half of that back-to-back setup, like the opponent last night, the New Jersey Nets, getting a big lead in the second half of the big 3rd period. And thus, so starters got some rest in the 4th period of play. They're a bit fresher tonight. Wilkins against Jordan. This is what they came to see. Graham from the outside. Horace Grant for the rebound. Here comes Paxson. King at the baseline against Willis. Throws it away to Ramil Robinson. Ahead to Augman. You don't miss many of those. I mentioned Stacey had been having problems shooting the basketball, shooting under 50% this season, but generally you shoot up in the 90s, like 99% on a slam like that. Michael Jordan out front against Graham. Oh, nice move.
That's okay. Don't worry about that one, Paul Graham. You'll see that a couple more times in your life.
Robinson walks it across. Hawks have been a split between running the basketball and working into a half-court passing game this season. Dominique Wilkins. Wilkins keeps it alive, gets it back. And the tip is good by Willis. Willis with 4.
Willis has 4 rebounds and 4 points.
Stacey King to Michael Jordan off the screen. Augman the rebound. Here come the Atlanta Hawks. Ramil Robinson. The ball slapped on the drive. We got a foul coming up on John Paxson. First on Pax, second on the team.
All right, they're going to the big man, so this is why we'll see Will come in. Here comes the foul on Pax. From the upper deck, he reaches across. It's a non-shooting foul. So big. Will Perdue in. He's going to try to be. His job is to keep Kevin Willis, push him off the block.
Robinson from the outside for 2. Ramil gets it back. Tipped away by Horace Grant to John Paxson. Here come the Bulls on the run. Jordan trying to feed Grant. Deflected, and Scotty Pippen readjusts. Scotty reloaded, and he's got 6. They didn't draw it up on the chalkboard that way, but it worked, right? Augman trying to swing loose, puts up a wild shot, and Paxson has a rebound. Here comes Pippen.
Oh, yes! Oh, Graham, take a seat. Oh, yes. Oh, Scotty, have mercy.
Here it is.
Oh.
McDonald's donates $50 to charitables when any Bulls players slam dunks during tonight's game. No better example of it than Scottie Pippen on the last drive.
Well, I said Paul Graham take a seat. He did. He's replaced by Dwayne Farrell, who against Cleveland got 25, a high for him, a good all-around ball player. They tried to get some minutes out of Paul Graham, and Scottie Pippen took him to school.
Robinson double teamed, gets it across. Hawks have the numbers in their favor. Wilkins on the drive, but he drew the foul. Foul is on Will Perdue.
The great thing about these two players is they come in, they go looking right at you, they hold the ball, control their body, and you really are stuck if you leave your feet on them. You're up in here, you got nowhere to go. They've got about 3 or 4 directions where to go.
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see us put a clock on the hang time when Jordan and Wilkins get into the lane like that, you know. Dominique with 4.
See how much time they actually spend on the court, huh?
Yeah.
They're in the arena anyway. We know that.
There's the shot clock, left-hand corner of your screen. Bulls have plenty of time. They set up the half-court offense. Perdue, they're getting the center involved a little bit more in these opening sequences of the ball game. Scottie Pippen missing. And the rebound, Dwayne Farrell. Stacey Augman. Oh, the block by Pippen on Augman. It'll be Atlanta basketball. Scottie Pippen up high. Take a look at it from this angle. That's what you call rejection.
Hey, you're looking at about 8 athletes out there, and for real athletes.
Kevin Willis. You mentioned it. He's a man.
Yep.
Some nights he's a man among boys. I think there's some men out there with him tonight, though, in the white jerseys. Grant inside. Good breakaway from the ball. Nice find from the backcourt. Jordan, tell you, with that pass threading it through the lane. And Horace Grant made a good move away from the ball to get open. Willis out high. Augman. Ramil Robinson. They work the weave. Dominique Wilkins. Willis.
Another rebound.
Augman.
They're playing handball up against that wall.
Scottie Pippen.
Well, the Bulls had got their lunch handed to them last night by New Jersey.
The Lakers did a good job.
Not during the game, but on the boards. They really took it to them.
The Lakers did a good job on the boards here. Also out-rebounded the Bulls Tuesday night. Oh, nice feed to Will Perdue from MJ. Wow. He has made 2 great passes the last trips down. Wilkins has it deflected. Yeah, and I think it's going to be goaltended. They called a foul.
Right out of the air.
Score the hoop. And the foul is going to be on Horace Grant. It's Grant's first, 4th on the team, and score the field goal for Dominique Wilkins.
Oh, they came in quick. Michael went up and caught that ball. So he gets the 2. Augman will leave.
Here's Blair Rasmussen reporting on for the first time tonight.
Now, I'll tell you, this 3-point attempt that they've got here didn't take more than 2 seconds. And the Bulls scored, remember, on the other end on a dunk by Will Perdue.
1-point lead for the Chicago Bulls. Under 5 minutes to go, first period of play. Scottie Pippen off the glass from the outside. 10 points in this first period of play for Scottie Pippen. Got a look at the shot clock to the left-hand corner. Dominique Wilkins. Usually when he has it, the shot clock doesn't come into play. When Wilkins gets it, he goes to the hoop with it. Horace Grant. Will Perdue. Pippen can feel it from the outside. Moves up on Rasmussen and connects. Scottie with 12 on 6 from the field. Bulls some pressure in the backcourt now. Wilkins breaks it across to Robinson. The feed for Farrell. Oh, textbook break. Pippen right back for the Bulls. Now the Bulls reassemble. Pippen to the outside.
Oh, Scottie stuck on automatic. 7 for 9 from the field.
14 for Scottie Pippen. Bulls lead again by 3. Under 4 minutes to go in the period. Wilkins, and away from the ball, some pushing and shoving going on.
Pax underneath, though, trying to keep his little man out of there, and they call the foul on him again.
Second on Pax and fifth on the team.
Yeah, he slides down the middle, and then he bumps Pax. He hooks him a little bit. Pax bumps him back, and they don't let little guys fight, as we know. Pax saying, what am I doing sitting down here? Let me battle the guy a little bit. B.J. Armstrong will come in for him, and I don't really like the way the Hawks are getting that basket back so quick, or the attempt so quick after they take it out of the net. So Ramil Robinson, who had an awful lot of pressure put on him when he came out of Michigan as their number one, he just couldn't fit in their backcourt in too quick. Blair Rasmussen was in too quick. It's a lane violation.
So one free throw for Ramil Robinson, and the lane violation wipes away the second.
Those guys have played a little bit against each other, haven't they, Robinson? And
you got it. The wraparound by Pippen off the mark, and here come the Hawks. Wilkins from Robinson. Well, you're right. They are scoring in a hurry, and the Hawks have caught the Bulls with 3:10 to go. First period of play.
This is the Iowa-Michigan that I was talking about, playing against each other for a while.
B.J. Armstrong at Iowa. Of course, Ramil Robinson of that national championship team at Michigan. B.J. freed up at the baseline. Willis the rebound. Here comes Ramil Robinson. The lead intended on the play for Wilkins, stolen by Scottie Pippen. To Armstrong. Oh, Rasmussen the rebound. Robinson back in a hurry. Wilkins loose at the baseline. Dominique having a big first quarter. Delay a game warning against Atlanta. Bob Weiss, head coach of the Hawks, former Chicago Bull.
This game, there's nothing been delayed about this game. 29-27. We've got 2 minutes and 20 seconds to play in this quarter. This has been a rapid first quarter.
Why, the Hawks have done a job off the boards on the Bulls. B.J. Armstrong. Here's Scottie Pippen off the screen by Will Perdue. Pippen drives into the lane. They work to Jordan. 1 to go on the shot clock for 3. Yes!
MJ with a surprise setup on the 3. Scottie couldn't get that shot off, and he rat-a-tatted it.
Robinson sets it up. Rasmussen out front for a screen. Robinson takes it to the lane. Against B.J. Armstrong. Rasmussen for the outside hits the jumper for 2. Somebody described Blair Rasmussen as a 7-foot jump shooter. You don't see many of those.
Yeah, well, that's why he did so well in the Denver.
On the drive, the Bulls lose. Here come the Hawks. Ramil Robinson in transition.
The Bulls will not win this game playing defense this way.
5 for Robinson. The Hawks lead by 3. Under 2 minutes to go, first period. Horace Grant. Will Perdue. Second field goal for Perdue in this first period of play. Under a minute to go. Robinson backs it in for the Hawks against B.J. Armstrong. Gets a nice screen from Rasmussen. Oh, and the slam by Farrell. Dwayne Farrell has 4. B.J. Armstrong right back. Rasmussen the rebound. Hawks get 2 for 1. Lead for Robinson. He left it short. Farrell cashes in.
Bulls are like on a revolving door, spinning door.
Coming up on half a minute to go now. Well, you get under 30 seconds, it's going to be a lot more than 2 for 1 the way this game has been played. Michael Jordan. Jordan has 12. He and Pippen have combined for 26 of the 34 Chicago points. Robinson sets it up for one last. Time left in the right-hand corner of your screen. Ramil Robinson with time winding down. Wilkins for 3. No. And the first period comes to a close. A frantic first quarter. The Hawks put 37 on the board and head off leading at the end of 1 by 3. On to December 28th, when the Bulls take on the Sacramento Kings, it's All-State Life Insurance Lunchbox Night. The first 5,000 kids 14 years old and younger will receive a Bulls lunchbox, compliments of All-State Life Insurance. You were doing some work with the numbers. What, the Bulls scored the most points they've scored in a single period this season, and they
tied at 34, and they still got outscored. How'd you like to be late for this game and miss 71 points in the first quarter? Wow, 37-34. Now Scott Williams comes in, Bobby Hansen is in, Horace Grant and Scotty up front.
That was a pretty quick period.
We didn't even get a timeout in that quarter. I mean, there was no dead ball.
We didn't even catch a break. Scottie Pippen picked up by Dwayne Farrell, utilizing the pick by Williams. B.J. Armstrong gets a screen from Horace Grant. Pippen from the outside. Rebound back tap by Horace. Williams tries to pry it loose, and it's taken away by Augman. Oh, what a move by Augman. Sensational drive. Stacey Augman with 7. Horace Grant against Blair Rasmussen. Hansen on the drive, lost the handle on it, but a foul coming up. Stacey Augman reaching in, picks up his first.
Hansen down the middle. He did lose the handle, but the reason he did is he got grabbed on that left arm by Stacey Augman. You see two reach out there, pull the arm down.
Bobby Hansen averaging 4.5 points in 16 minutes a game this season with the Bulls.
I'll tell you what, the bench is not shooting free throws the way they should be shooting free throws. Only one guy coming off there, and that's Armstrong. But everybody else is really, there's a double banger off the rim.
Bobby Hansen was shooting about 44% coming into tonight's game from the free throw line. Maurice Cheeks in the lineup. Ball tipped out of bounds, and last touch by Atlanta. B.J. Armstrong takes it up, and hang on, we've got a hold up and play here. The officials stopped the action. Bob Weiss looking on. Not quite sure.
I think he said 11:06. Put it to 11:06. That's where the clock.
Reset the clock. Obviously, it was a clock problem. Now 11 minutes left to go in the period. Right through the hands of Horace Grant. So the Hawks get it back. The action turning a little sloppy here as we begin the second period of play. Cheeks backing in. Veteran at point guard. Kevin Willis over Horace Grant. And the tip by Rasmussen.
I'll tell you what, they had Farrell and Rasmussen there.
They're just doing a number on the boards. Bulls take a timeout. Chicago. Early going in this, the second period. Phil Jackson and company are trailing by 7. On January 4th, when the Bulls meet the New Jersey Nets, it's Kodak Basketball Cards Night. Every fan coming to the game will receive a set of Bulls basketball cards, compliments of Kodak. Wayne Larrivee with Johnny Red Kerr, our producer, director, Arnie Harris. Skip Ellison produced and directed the pregame tonight, Bullseye on Channel 9. Great to have you with us on the holiday season. The Bulls have some work cut out for them. They're down by 7 here, early second period, and getting whipped on the boards. Hawks have 11 offensive rebounds at this point. Horace Grant has his pass for Hansen misdirected, picked up by Grant. B.J. with 5 to go on the shot clock. Pippen lets it go with 3. Grant the rebound, and they reload. Scottie Pippen on the 5 and a foul.
Oh, that was just a sheer power move. Scotty was winding up to slam the ball. He wanted to slam that ball as he came down the lane. Horace, a big job again rebounding, flipped it out. Scotty comes down.
Scottie Pippen with 16 points now. Make it 17 points for Pippen. And he connects on the free throw for a 3-point play. And the Bulls back to within 4. Opening 2 minutes of play in this, the second period. There's the shot clock. Left-hand corner of your screen. Willis a little too tall on that pass for Augman, and it'll belong to the Bulls. Gotti gets a rest, and Michael comes back on. Bob Weiss, the 6th coach in Atlanta Hawks history. As I mentioned, a former Chicago Bull, played with some very good teams in the early 70s here in Chicago. From the outside, Hodges. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Hansen tries to save and couldn't do it in time. Bobby Hansen hustling. Hawks get it back. Boy, this is a team, Johnny, when you talk about size, they have 4 7-footers on their roster. Their 2 guard is a 6'8" player. Of course, Dominique Wilkins can jump out of the gym. So this is a team that plays very tall. And from the outside, Rasmussen connects.
See, their 7-footer can bang out of the corner. He did that, I started to mention, with Paul Westhead's offense there, that big high-powered offense that they had in Denver.
But he averaged also 9 rebounds in that offense, too, and scored very well, about 14 points a game out there. Williams up high. Hodges' pass is misdirected by Farrell. 5 to go on the shot clock. Jordan for the bailout. Nicely done.
He hit that right on the head. We bailed out the whole team, throwing the ball back to half court.
Wilkins on the move. Oh, man. 15 for Dominique. Hansen. Off the screen by Williams. Boy, give Williams an assist on that one with a screen, because Hansen was able to get wide open for that shot. About 8.5 to go. First half of play. Farrell. Stacey Augmon. Here it is. Tipped away by Jordan. Nobody's going to chase him.
Poster time. Don't be too quick on that, though. Against the Lakers, he missed one wide open like that. But I think that may be the last one you and I
will see. Michael missing on a break like that. 2-point lead for the Hawks. $50 from McDonald's to Charitables.
Spin.
Wilkins looking like that spin move. Stopped by Williams. Cheeks from the outside. Farrell is hitting the boards, and Jordan clears. Hansen. Hodges for 3. Rasmussen the rebound, and the Hawks on the break. Wilkins. Augman. Crowd thought Wilkins had traveled on the play. Perhaps he did, but rarely do they call it on one of the superstars. Bulls reassembled offensively. Hansen pulls up, gets fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2. Foul is on Stacey Augmon. It's his 2nd, 3rd on the team.
Coming off a screen by King, he just goes up to take the shot. He hits him on the right arm.
Levingston in the ballgame for the Bulls.
Bobby Hansen, as I mentioned, has struggled at the free throw line. As John mentioned, the Bulls bench outside of B.J. Armstrong has not done a good job at the line. And Hansen now 1 out of 1 out of 3 at the free throw line here tonight.
Well, I got him for 0 out of 3. I don't know.
I'm sorry. Yes, you're right.
I got him 0 out of 4. And got the sombrero, the big hat, the whole deal.
Took the collar, as we'd say in baseball, right? 0 for 4 thus far. Rasmussen on the hook. Larry Rasmussen, 8 points now off the bench for the Hawks. Michael Jordan. King on the weave. Craig Hodges. No foul. Pippen, or make that Levingston. Levingston gets it back for 2.
Former teammate of Dominique Wilkins. He now got the job of trying to stop him.
Robinson from deep. King up high for the rebound.
They missed him down here, but it's a good play.
Levingston sets it up for the Bulls. There's the shot clock. Hodges from the outside.
Hodges is 0 for this year. Bobby Hansen on the foul.
His first. That's the first on the team. No timeout. The officials momentarily had signaled for a timeout, but apparently no.
Chicago personal foul.
Foul again is on Hansen, his first on the team in the second period. 6:17 to go in the second quarter. Ramil Robinson sets it up for Atlanta. Away from the ball, got a whistle down low.
Yeah, it's a screen on the baseline. It's right. You can hear Cliff Robinson saying that they set a screen out of bounds on the man, and you cannot do that. See if we can see a guy come across the baseline. Cliff Levingston says, yeah, there he is. He got me on the baseline. Cliff called it and got the call.
Jordan inside King.
King gets his first hoop. MJ breaks the defense down. Bulls not playing well, but there's your timeout, Wayne.
Now the timeout. Bob Weiss of the Atlanta Hawks will talk it over. Their lead moments ago, 6 points, has shrunk to 2. Here's what's on tap for halftime. News break and then an interview with Phil Cartwright. Johnny Red Kerr will be chatting with Phil. Highlights and statistics. Been a rough week for the Bulls on the boards, John. Getting out rebounded by the Lakers and Nets, and here tonight getting hammered on the boards to this point by Atlanta.
Well, I'm going to talk to Bill Cartwright about that thing at halftime. We're going to talk about it because they certainly miss his big presence.
Exactly. That's the point. This week more than any other week, I think they've missed Bill Cartwright, his presence in the pivot. Hawks on the attack. Snoop Graham. Rebound, Michael Jordan. Jordan lost the handle on it. Here come the Hawks. Wilkins. Dominique with 17. Johnny Pack sets it up. Scottie Pippen. Boy, you are right. The Bulls have been setting up at the half court and scoring, but the Hawks have been scoring with lightning quickness. Jordan on the drive draws a foul. Foul is on Ramil Robinson. His second. Make it his first and the fourth on the team.
Michael up in the air, and he decides to pass it to Pax. He would have shot a couple free throws, but here we go. 5:13.
Jordan off a screen, leaves it short, and the rebound, Willis. Robinson to Wilkins. Wilkins scoring and a foul. Oh, what a move.
Well, Cliff Levingston got hurt going to the board. He ended up with Willis. He said, pick up my man, and Stacey King was not able to do that. And to the hoop, Dominique Wilkins gets the basket.
Wilkins has 20 points now.
He's 8 for 13 from the field, and coming in shooting 46%. You wonder, who is he shooting poorly?
Yeah, exactly. He's been sharp here tonight. King, and the foul is on Graham reaching in. Paul Graham, his third, fifth on the team.
You look for the Hawks backcourt. If you notice, two names we haven't mentioned, Doc Rivers and Spud Webb, they're no longer here. They've turned the reins over to younger players, and those younger players have done just fine. They're only 12-12 on the season, but right now they own the Bulls in their own building.
King with 3 points now. Dwayne Farrell reports back on. Boy, he gave this ball club a lift the other night, had a career high of 25 points against Indiana. Stacey King has 4 points of the game here tonight. Bulls with the backcourt pressure. Augman picked up by Jordan. Farrell. Long rebound. Scotty had a shot at it, couldn't haul it in, and it belonged to Atlanta. You know, the Hawks shooting 45.9% coming in to the ball game here tonight, and right now they're shooting 50%.
For the Bulls, number 10,
B.J. Armstrong back on, replacing John Paxson in the lineup. Bulls are trailing by 5. Wilkins picked up by Cliff Levingston. A couple of former teammates. Levingston commits the foul. Dominique will shoot 2. First on Cliff, and that's the 3rd on the team.
This is where these guys are so great, the Michael Jordans and the Dominique Wilkins. They hit enough outside shots to keep you honest. They drive to the hoop, they spin on you, and then they take a shot from 18, and you hit them on the hand. They missed a shot, go up to the free throw line,
nail a pair.
And nail a pair on it. Dominique, they dubbed him the human highlight film.
With good reason, John.
He has been tonight.
That's right. He's been in character tonight.
The Bulls have sort of used the 2-man highlight film in Jordan and Pippen.
Bulls work the perimeter right now.
Oh, there's the jumper.
Jordan wide open. Rebound Willis.
You want that one. Just a little 15-foot J.
Ramil Robinson on the drive right past Stacey King. I don't think Stacey knew he was there.
No, he didn't.
Scored and a foul.
He was looking for his man. There he comes in the upper deck camera.
Ramil kind of sneaks up on him right here.
Yeah, he was running back looking for his man. Now, you got to look a little both ways, and Robinson has really played well.
3 years ago, Robinson to the free throw line in a pressure situation of a lifetime nailed a pair of free throws to beat Seton Hall for the NCAA championship. He's not been a good free throw shooter since. Struggled as a senior at Michigan. Ran out of real estate on the sideline there. It'll belong to Chicago off the turnover. It's funny, you think of Ramil Robinson, you remember that moment when he nailed a couple of free throws with the pressure on, but he really didn't shoot that well from the line his senior year, and he struggled for the most part from the free throw line as a pro. Bulls on the attack. They trail by 9. Jordan. Rebound Wilkins. Boy, he and Jordan have some spring, don't they, in their legs? There's the rebounding story. My gosh, the Hawks have owned the boards.
Well, those 26 that they have, they're split with 13 offensively. They miss the shot, and they come back and get another one.
Robinson left it short. B.J. Armstrong. Lead to Scottie Pippen. Robinson broke it up like a defensive back and knocked it out of bounds. Thought he also pushed off a little bit on Scottie, but he got away with it. Former Bull Bob Weiss. Jordan, and they give it to him. Michael with 17. Jordan 8 of 12 from the field, shooting very well here tonight. Coming into the game over the 2 games this week, he was only 14 of 38. Robinson sets it up. Under 3 minutes to go, first half. Wilkins put some arc on that ball. 24 for Dominique.
It's a 50-point night for Dominique Wilkins.
Well, he's at 24 right now, Red. I mean, you're right on schedule, I guess. Maybe a little more. Pippen on the drive. Offensive foul, going back the other way.
Good call. Yes, sir. The young man made a good play. Stepped out in front. Dwayne Farrell. Good play. Good play. Came around that screen and jumped in front of Scotty's path.
Better look at it right there. No question about the call. Robinson sets it up in the half court for the Hawks. Boy, they played well here tonight, leading. Oh, and the Red Sea parted, and Robinson went down it like Moses. And almost had the field goal. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Bulls. It'll belong to the Hawks. Time left on the shot clock. 9 seconds. And the Hawks want to talk it over. Well, the Atlanta Hawks have really played well thus far tonight with 2:16 to go in the half. Bob Weiss and company on a 9-point lead over Michael Jordan and the Bulls. Wayne Larrivee, Johnny Kerr, producer-director Arnie Harris, and the Upper Deck companies provided us with the Upper Deck cam angle above the court. There it is, and that's what you look at when you look through that camera. That view. Not bad. Hawks inbound. Robinson. Tied up by B.J. for a moment. Loses the handle on it. Picked up by Armstrong. Feed for Scottie Pippen. 20 for Scottie. Hawks right back. Robinson off the hands of Willis and out of play.
You better get back. You see how quick that was. You got 2:01 to play here. Bulls got to tighten the screws a little bit here defensively.
Isn't there a speed limit in this building?
We need speed bumps.
Armstrong Pippen got pushed, had it blocked by Augman. Robinson. Wilkins for a 10-point lead. Yes. 3-pointer by Dominique Wilkins. 27. Largest lead of the evening for either team. Atlanta's 10-point advantage. Horace Grant going to work. Jordan. 6 to go on the shot clock and got an offensive foul. It's called on Cliff. Good news is second personal.
Offensive foul, Chicago. 53, Cliff Levingston is second.
Cliff down low, and he just wraps him, pushes him off.
Ooh. Take that forearm shiver. Ramil Robinson sets it up. Hawks lead it by 10. Coming up on a minute left to go. Robinson into the lane. Augman to Ramil Robinson.
3 seconds.
Down, yes.
Gotta be.
Kevin Willis couldn't get out of the lane. So, turnover by Bob Weiss's Bulls, and the Bulls get it back. Trailing by 10. Phil Jackson, Tex Winter on Phil's left. John Bach on Phil's right. Game clock, shot clock. Shot clock left-hand corner, game clock on the right. Levingston to Jordan. Michael in the lane. On the reverse. Yes, and a foul.
Yes. Through the traffic. Went on the right side. Got the ball. Went down to the right. Got down around the baseline. Gets a pass inside. He goes down. All kinds of red shirts. He ducks underneath. Flips it up with the left hand. Off the glass and in. Lots of those shirts converge on him. Whoa.
Dwayne Farrell was spied for the foul, but it could have been on any number of Hawks on that drive. 19 points for Jordan. Make it 20.
Yeah, looking over his head to make sure it went in.
Going to wrench that back, isn't he doing that? Under a minute to go. On the drive, Wilkins blocked by Pippen. Augman lays it in. Stacey Augman's had a good first half with 11.
He is not doing it himself. He's catching balls, and
Williams has it blocked down low by Willis.
Augman's not beating guys one on. He's getting a shot. Somebody missing a shot. Somebody on a hustle gets him.
Grant to Jordan. 8 to go on the shot clock. Michael swings loose. I'll tell you what, this is one of the best first halves Michael's played in the last couple of weeks. 42 now for Jordan, 28 for Pippen, 27 for Wilkins, and 11 for Augman. So the big people are going. Here's a steal by Scottie Pippen. 22 for Scottie Pippen, and just like that, the Bulls are back to within 5.6 seconds to go. Willis, no. So the Bulls, moments ago, trailing by 10. Phil Jackson and company rally back to within 5. As they head off, trailing the Atlanta Hawks 65 to 60. Our halftime activities are just ahead.
welcome back to the Chicago Stadium. This is the season to be jolly and to share your gifts with all your friends, but not in basketball. The Bulls have given up a lead 65 to 60 to the Atlanta Hawks. Standing next to me is a guy that's been missing. He'll be, we're hoping he returns to action. He had the broken hand. Bill Cartwright, the co-captain of the Chicago Bulls. Bill, just tell me, when do you think he will be back?
Well, next Friday will be 6 weeks, so we were optimistic about trying to get that Christmas game, but as of right now, we're a little skeptical about that. So we're just going to have to play it by ear. I'm going to get an X-ray this next Monday to see just where we are, but it doesn't look good for Christmas.
Well, you know, the Bulls are 12-2 without Bill Cartwright. They went through the West pretty good, but they really didn't get the kind of centers that they're going to start running into, the guys that can knock them off the block, so to speak. You're starting to get a little more respect, I understand, from Stacey King and the Will for what you do out there when you're playing.
Well, I think everybody's getting a little beat up now, and that's what happens. You know, you run into those big guys every night, and it just turns out to be a real grind. So you got to really like to give out and take some punishment. So I think they appreciate me a little more now.
You know, both of the last two teams we played here last night, the New Jersey Nets, did a tattoo job on the Bulls on the board. Yeah, the Bulls did win, but they paid for it, took a lot of lumps. Tonight, this Atlanta team is just making mincemeat out of the board. So what do the Bulls have to do here?
Well, what we wanted to do was keep a perimeter and make them shoot outside jump shots. And I thought that when we did do that, they were able to get some offensive boards, some long rebounds. So we just got to try to scrub the ball out the long ones and try to keep them outside because they are a little suspect out there and definitely get a body on Kevin Willis.
It's been a highlight show, hasn't it? Dominique Wilkins and Jordan and Pippen lived up to all the ratings.
Whenever you get Dominique out there and get him loose and feeling good, they're always a dangerous team because seemingly everybody else gets involved. And I'll tell you, that's the first time I've seen Augman, and he's an athlete also. So they have some good players over there.
Well, we want to see you back in action, Bill. If it's not by Christmas, we hope very, very soon. We're going to be back with highlights of the first half and some stats, so stick around.
And we're back at Chicago Stadium. Wayne Larrivee, Johnny Red Kerr, and guest, former Notre Dame head coach Digger Phelps. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's good to see John Kerr finally getting the right teams at the right time. I like the wardrobe. I mean, the tie's back.
Not bad, huh?
Yeah, we got a microphone for you. Digger, what have you been up to?
Being a spouse. You know, my wife has a job in a law school, and it's nice being on the other side of it when you're unemployed and looking for a job.
Your golf game is better, too, I assume.
It was. I had a pretty good summer. That's not a bad life, but no.
This first half, let me ask you a quick question, Digger.
Bulls are flat.
Over the rim, these two, Dominique Wilkins, Scotty, and Michael, huh?
Really, but Bulls look flat this first half. I think, you know, as you know, goes 4 quarters. I think the middle third quarter is key for the Bulls in this game.
Well, they've got to get back on defense, or it's not going to.
Got to get Pax back.
Why don't you stick here and take a look at us for highlights? We got some highlights coming up.
Oh, I'd love to see highlights. Do it right here.
All right, we'll take a look from the overhead camera right away. Here comes Jordan in, little fingertip roll. The ball flips on, and
you see, Michael's got that body control. He just has great floor vision and knows when to release the ball.
All right, here we'll take one more look and see Jordan coming down.
The ball fake going to his right, ball fake coming back. And no one's guarding him. It's just free shot. And he needs one of the few guys who can do that. I wonder who this guy is. Now, see, I never taught him
Johnny
that.
Pax, you know him. What's Scotty Pippen? He goes
pure power right here.
And I said,
just know the guy's at the wrong angle. He's not going to get to you, and just go to the rim and get fouled.
Here, Michael's shooting 19% from three-point range, but when the money's on the line.
But it was a kick-out pass, Johnny, that got the reversal because they sagged to the ball, and he cheats and gets it. Here again, another one. Well, look, you guys go back to work. Arnie, I'll see you at the opener probably at Wrigley, and I'm looking forward, and you know, who knows what's going to happen with Cub baseball this year.
Enough. He's looking for our job.
All right. Here we go. Here are the stats. Dominique Wilkins, leading scorer of the ball game, 10 of 16 from the field, 27 points. Augman had a good first half, 5 of 8 from the field, and Blair Rasmussen came off the bench for 8 points for the Atlanta Hawks. Now, for the Chicago Bulls, I'll tell you what, added up, Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, 44 of the 60 points, and they are 20 of 29 combined from the field. There's a look at the shooting. Bulls at 57%, Hawks at 50%. Really the rebounding story. The Bulls are just not able to hang with the Hawks on the offensive board. Atlanta doing a great job on their offensive board, 14-6 over the Bulls, and that's really one of the key differences in the ball game here tonight. Bill Jackson and company break camp. Good to see Digger Phelps.
It was good to see the Digman.
Bulls will inbound to start the second half of play. Trailing by 5 as we begin the third period of play. B.J. Armstrong, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Stacey King, Horace Grant on the floor for the Bulls. Robinson, Graham, Wilkins, Willis, and Augman a counter for Atlanta. King freed up for the first 2 points of the second half.
The reason B.J. Armstrong is out there, John Paxson has a lower back spasm and didn't free up for him, so we won't see John the second half.
Dominique Wilkins. On the turn, it won't go for Willis. And Jordan the rebound. Horace Grant. Willis wipes the board clean. Robinson, Wilkins past Jordan. Dominique lets it go from deep and hits for 2. Wilkins with 29.
A little period sitting downstairs didn't cool him off. That's what I'd like him to shoot from long range, though.
like to get him. They'd like to get Augman if he can off the mark from the outside, open up the middle a little bit.
Well, Willis Reed.
There's a foul on Wilkins reaching in down low.
I saw Willis Reed last night. That's what I was talking about. There's some scores for you on a late here scoreboard.
Dominique Wilkins' first personal foul, first on the team. Cleveland winning big over Charlotte. Jersey has the edge on Indiana. Bulls resume offensively. Jordan with the double pump for 2. Michael 24. Hawks lead has been sliced to 3. It was 10 late in the second period. Ramil Robinson backing in. BJ with a hand check. Here's Dominique Wilkins. Wilkins bumped by Grant. 3 to go on the shot clock. Graham the bailout. Rims in and out. And we've got a whistle on the rebound. A loose ball foul coming up. Going to be called on Stacey King, and Phil Jackson not at all happy with that call.
Stacey King did some job denying Kevin Willis a position before that shot went up, and then he got called for the foul underneath.
Wilkins over Horace Grant, and Dominique with 31. What did you say, 50-point night? He's getting there. A.J. Armstrong sets it up. Horace Grant at a high post. Beats Pippen. Scotty reverses into the lane. Oh, nicely done. Scotty with 24. Hawk lead is down to 3. Robinson guarded by Armstrong. Stacey Augmon picked up by Michael Jordan. Graham's feed for Willis, denied by Pippen. Last touch by Willis. Scotty denies the interior feed, and the Bulls take over on the turnover. A.J. Armstrong. Scotty Pippen. Stacey King on the turnaround. Horace Grant batting the rebound, but it's taken off by Paul Graham. Ramil Robinson. Graham on the wing. Dominique Wilkins at the point. Wilkins past Grant. Robinson from the outside. Lots of arc on that shot. Ramil has 9, his 4th from the field. Hawks with a 5-point lead. A.J. Armstrong. Here's Michael Jordan. Jordan over Augman. 26 for Michael Jordan.
He knows Dominique's got 31. He's going to catch him. You're looking at the #1 and the #2 scorers in the league. Michael leads Dominique, and he's not going to let Dominique get off too far.
This game has been a treat. It really has. The great players like Wilkins and Jordan doing their thing, and the Hawks playing well, and the Bulls trying to combat the size advantage Atlanta has on the boards, and we've got a loose ball foul coming up here.
That's on Kevin Willis.
Foul on Kevin Willis is his first and the second on the team. Blair Rasmussen, number 41, who played well in the first half off the bench. 4 for 4 from the field and 8 points. Back into the ball game for Atlanta. Hawks have a pair of 7-footers in the lineup now. And Wilkins jumps like a 7-footer or better.
You got to go all the way to the middle on this one.
Stacey King.
You got to go all the way to the middle. You don't want to take that fade away to the right.
Robinson loses the dribble. Here comes B.J. Armstrong. Pippen. To the glass. Grant on the tip. Cleared by Augman. Robinson. Wilkins. Dominique gets it back. Nicely done. Wilkins 33.
You're talking about an up-tempo game we've been looking for. This is it.
Isn't it, though? Scotty, the nice beat. Oh. Jordan, nobody was fouled.
Well, Scotty saw him breaking down the middle. He saw him break down the middle. And he gives him a bounce pass. So Michael goes down the baseline. His man comes back underneath.
As Rasmussen trying to help out on the foul, his second. 3rd on the team, and Michael Jordan at the line. 27 for Jordan. He came in averaging 28.9 points per ball game, exactly 1 point more than Dominique Wilkins coming into tonight's game. The 1 and 2 scores in the league doing battle here tonight, and Jordan and Wilkins and Michael Jordan with 28. Bulls with pressure in the backcourt. Over and back. I think he did. He got away with it. Dominique Wilkins. And we've got a foul.
They're saying it was over and back.
Look at Michael. Michael was really debating the point.
All right, at half court, Ramil Robinson came up. Oh, yeah. Oh, big time. Big time.
Boy, how'd they miss that? Huh?
Big time over and back, and the Bulls paid a penalty. The guy's got to shoot the free throw here.
The foul on Horace Grant was his second on the team. Watch it again.
Scotty point. He comes over. And then he goes back, and Scotty says, yeah, look what he did. And they don't care.
Wilkins 1 out of 2 at the line, and the Bulls rebound. A foul coming up. Foul is on Willis. Kevin Willis, his second.
Now I'm going to add
fourth on the team.
I'm going to. If you saw that picture, did you see where Derek Stafford was? Right next to the guy with the ball. Now, why didn't he see that? Why didn't he call it?
Exactly. How do you miss it?
You got 3 officials out there. You got to.
Jordan over Augman.
He just elevated a little higher on the shot.
I'll tell you what, John, this is the best I've seen Michael shoot in about 3 weeks.
He's 13 out of 17. Pippen's 11 out of 17 and 13 out of 21 for Dominique.
Willis with a wild hook. He's got it. 8 for Kevin Willis. It's only 4 of 11 from the field. Pippen right back for 2.
Golly, I want to tell you something. The shooting is phenomenal between these 3 guys. The other guys are just out there to keep the ball alive.
Window dressing, John. Window dressing.
Bulls can't close it. They're down trailing by 2 now.
Chant of defense from the sellout crowd. Willis inside, blocked by Horace Grant. Willis again. Rebound Armstrong. Bulls can tie. Scottie Pippen, plenty of time on the shot clock. Grant to Jordan. 6'8" Stacey Augman all over Michael. 5 to go on the shot clock. Pippen wide open. Willis the rebound. Ramil Robinson. Augman. Fouled by Scottie Pippen reaching in. Second on Scottie, 3rd on the team. And we've got a break of the action. Timeout taken by the Atlanta Hawks. It'll give Phil Jackson and company time to talk things over. They trail with 5:34 to go in the 3rd. My kids, Scotty and Brian, call him Big Frank. And you know who's at the plate when it's Big Frank. Frank Thomas of the White Sox. Of course, you'll see Sox baseball coming up this season again on Channel 9, America's sports station. Frank Thomas, what a great star he is developing into on the South Side. Hey, kids, you can become part of the Bulls team by joining the Blockbuster Video Chicago Bulls Kids Club. Members receive an official membership card, T-shirt, a Bulls mini poster, and more. Call the Bulls Community Services Department, 312-943-5800 for more information. Be a part of the team. Join the Blockbuster Video Chicago Bulls Kids Club today. Atlanta basketball, Dominique Wilkins right in front of us on the inbound. Stolen by King. Jordan to B.J. Armstrong, no. Ramil Robinson takes the long carom, and the Hawks clinging to a 2-point lead with 5:20 to go. 3rd period. Robinson guarded by Armstrong. Big Ten matchup here, Michigan and Iowa. Wilkins lost the handle to Jordan, to B.J. on the drive.
B.J.'s first hoop, 1 for 5, but it's a steal by Jordan that puts it there.
Tied up at 76.
That's the spirit.
Yes, you're right. Boy, you're quick, redhead. I tell you, you could still play today. Time winding down to the shot clock. Scotty picks it off. Scotty triggered it loose. B.J. Armstrong to Scottie Pippen. Michael Jordan for 3. Yes.
He ring it up, his second, and it comes off at a great defense
Listen to this crowd. Standing ovation, Chicago Bulls. Timeout, Atlanta. We pause now for station identification.
This is WGN-TV Chicago, America's #1 sports station.
And the 9 o'clock news follows the ball game. Atlanta resumes offensively. Pressure in the backcourt. Robinson trapped, gets it away to Augman. To Ramil Robinson, found the lane. Robinson with 11. B.J. Armstrong right back to get it back. No. Armstrong on the follow again. No, but a foul.
Ramil Robinson on the foul. B.J. has been off from the field. He's got that one hoop, that layup. He misses the shot, but gets hit on the wrist here. The most accurate free throw shooter for the Bulls. He steps to the line. He's going to have to pick it up a little bit here from the outside with Johnny Paxson, and that little spasm in his lower back will not be back.
B.J.'s work last night against Jersey, a solid effort.
Oh, B.J.
B.J. rarely misses from the line. Armstrong came in, hitting 89% or thereabouts from the line. Maurice Cheeks back into the lineup for the Atlanta Hawks, along with Dwayne Farrell. There's Cheeks, Chicago product, veteran NBA point guard. B.J. 1 on a 2 at the line. Coming up on 4 minutes left to go, third period. Kevin Willis out of his range, goes into his range. Doesn't get the bounce. Wilkins in a crowd. Dominique for 35 points now.
Well, the most an opponent scored against the Bulls here this year has been 38 by Clyde Drexler and 38 by Chris Mullen of Golden State. Dominique's got a lot of time to get to that record. Not record, but this year's high.
Time winding down to the shot clock. 4 to go. B.J. throws it out of bounds. It'll belong to Atlanta. And we're down to 3 to go on the shot clock. Tied up at 80. Taking care of the basketball. Atlanta not having a very good night in that department at all, but they've played the up-tempo helter-skelter style here tonight. Nice Farrell on a beautiful drive.
Boy, he went to the right, came back with that left hand. A beautiful. You never hear of this guy, and all he does is put some nice points on the board for him. He's a real solid player with these guys.
Came out of the Topeka of the CBA last year and earned a shot with the Atlanta Hawks and has played solid off the bench this season. Had a career high of 25 earlier in the week. Dwayne Farrell. There's the shot clock winding down. Jordan. Pippen didn't get it off in time.
Well, I could say he took his time looking at the laces, but there's no laces on the ball anymore.
Haven't been for some time, right? Probably not in his lifetime.
Well, it's the 100-year commemoration of Dr. Naismith. We thought we'd talk about it.
Scotty was looking for him, though, maybe. Willis, 7 feet tall. Grant the rebound. Been a tough night on the boards for the Bulls. B.J. Armstrong. Bulls can tie on this trip. Michael Jordan.
Oh, way off.
Ricky and Willis coming at him. Up the grabs on the floor. Picked up by Scottie Pippen. They've got a fresh shot clock. Michael lost the handle for a moment.
There's a 3.
B.J. for 3.
Yes.
Well, you talked about picking up the slack from the outside. Demonstrated by Armstrong right there. Bulls with a 1-point lead. Dwayne Farrell lets it go over Jordan.
Willis.
Over,
yeah.
Armstrong loses to Farrell. Willis takes the loose ball. Rasmussen, the 7-footer from the outside.
I'll tell you what, Willis just manhandling people, throwing them down, and a big 7-footer nails one from the free throw line. Blair Rasmussen with his 10.
As Jordan takes it across, we've got a foul coming up, and this one's going to be on Kevin Willis, away from the ball. His third penalty situation in effect now. 68 seconds left to go in this, the third period of play, and the Bulls trailing by a point. We're seesawing now in this third period.
Let me quickly say, we'll take a look at the foul. He gets off the blocks. He pushes him. So while Grant shoots the 2 free throws, let me just give my best to my wheelchair buddy. He's at Press St. Luke's ICU. Dan Spikes. We call him Dr. Dan. You see him moving around in the wheelchair here. Carmen and I miss you down here, buddy. Hurry up back. And that's Stitcher. We hope that you recover from the flu. The Bulls Media Services Department.
Absolutely.
So, Horace knocks one in. He's got not many points in the game. He's got his hands full, but he's done a good job. He's got 4 block shots, 5 rebounds.
Horace 1 out of 2, gets it back. Hodges is in the ball game now for the Bulls. Michael Jordan sets it up. A minute left to go in the period.
Alexander Volkov.
Jordan picked up by Volkov in the game for the first time tonight. Jordan takes him down the baseline. Jump ball indication. Jordan wanted a foul.
Jump ball. Well, Michael had him where he wanted him to take the little jump shot outside, but Volkov comes in.
Jordan got the step, but Volkov looked like he got the ball. Watch it from this angle. It looks like he got the ball, at least initially. It'll be Volkov and Jordan on the tip. Controlled by Atlanta. Wilkins ahead of Cheeks. Lead Volkov. No! And Horace Grant takes it off the rim. Boy, that thing was bleeding up there. Tied at 84. Shot clock in the left, game clock in the right-hand corner of your screen.
Bulls wanted to go for 2.
Hodges for 3.
All right, his first hoop of the season. He was 0 for 8. He hits a 3 out of the corner.
And propels the Bulls into a 3-point lead. Dominique Wilkins and Scottie Pippen, and Pippen reaching in gets hit with a foul.
Bulls had a foul. Bulls had a foul.
That is only the 4th on the team, first in the last 2 minutes of the period. Personal foul number 3 on Scottie Pippen. Bob Weiss cuts a stoic picture there. Bobby Hansen in to give Michael Jordan a break. Last 3 field goals have been for long range for the Bulls. Time winding down to the period, right-hand corner of your screen, no shot clock. Hawks will take it, 1 last shot. Dwayne Farrell against Hansen on the drive. Farrell blocked by Scott Williams, knocked out of bounds. Going to belong to Atlanta with 5 seconds remaining. Scott Williams makes a difference more and more with each week as it passes. He gets back into the lineup. Wilkins, time winding down on the force. And the third period grinds to a close. Well, the Bulls trailed by 5 at halftime. They've come back at the end of 3 to take a 3-point lead over the Atlanta Hawks. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Bulls and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Chicago Bulls. On December 28th, when the Bulls take on the Kings, it's Allstate Life Insurance Lunchbox Night. The first 5,000 kids 14 years old and younger will receive a Bulls Lunchbox compliments of Allstate Life Insurance. Bulls put the clamps down in that third period of play, John. 9 to 22 from the field for the Hawks in the third quarter. Turnover to start the 4th by Atlanta. Hansen to Hodges. To Pippen.
Beautifully done. The Bulls run the fast break. Boy.
Cheeks sets it up for Atlanta. Dominique Wilkins on the wing. Wilkins backing in. Finds Cheeks outside. 10 to go on the shot clock. Alexander Volkov. 3 to go. 2 to go. Cheeks with the shot. Volkov won't get it off in time.
Well, you talked about closing the clamps down and tightening the screws. The Bulls defense has just done it. They had 5 turnovers in that quarter. They were 9 for 22. The Bulls come out here right away and set the pace for the fourth quarter.
The Bulls now lead it by 5. Pippen, Hodges for 3. Wilkins the rebound.
He's got to take some just to test the windage here, I'll tell you.
I think you're right.
You got to get him back in there. He's been out for a long time.
Wayne Farrell picked up by Bobby Hansen. Blair Rasmussen bears watching out of the arc. Rasmussen once again from the outside. But, you know, if the guy's going to hit it out there, you got to go out and get him, don't you, John?
Blair Rasmussen's got great touch from his fingertips to his wrist. That's the athletic part of it.
Pippen on the drive. One-hander. Oh, that was beautiful.
Talk about an athlete.
30 for Scotty now.
There's 3 guys with 30 in this game, right? Pippen 30, Michael 33, and Dominique 36.
Dwayne Farrell out of Georgia Tech. 10 points. Farrell was never drafted, but he's going to be a solid player off the bench for the Hawks.
They got 4 guys with 10 or more, too.
Bulls lead is 3. Under 10 minutes to go in the game. We're fourth period. Pippen.
Oh.
What did you say? He's got it on automatic? I think so.
Turns. Man, they're lighting up the defense. 32, 65 for Pippen and Jordan.
Farrell gets by Hansen, and I think Bobby held him. Bob's second personal. First on the team in the fourth period of play. Bill Jackson orchestrating on the bench. He'll get good news. Cliff Levingston up off the bench to report on.
They take Scotty out for the rest. They put Michael in. The good news is Scotty sits down. The bad news is Michael will have his own shots plus Scotty's.
Paul Graham is on.
Plus Hansen's.
That's right. In place of Dominique Wilkins. Mo Cheeks. Rasmussen again from the outside. And Jordan up over the rim for the board. Cliff Levingston. On the weave, Hodges, the quick release. Rebound taken down by Paul Graham. Mo Cheeks. Rasmussen inside, intended for Farrell, denied by Hansen. Last touch by Bobby Hansen. Atlanta basketball underneath the Hawks basket. 14 to go on the shot clock. You see it in the left-hand corner. Graham from the outside for 2. Paul Graham with his first field goal of the game. Bulls again have their lead sliced to 3. Hodges out high at the point. 10 to go on the shot clock. Hansen looking for room. Hodges with 5 to go. Gives up the ball to Cheeks, and a foul called on Craig Hodges.
Hansen at that stage got to look at the hoop. He's got to look at the hoop because time is running out. Hodges was just trying to get out of his way. He would have taken it if he was open, but the foul on Craig Hodges. Here comes B.J. Armstrong.
First foul on Craig and second on the team in the fourth period of play, and B.J. replaces Craig Hodges. Craig leaves with 3. B.J. comes on with 6 points. And here's Mo Cheeks. Volkov gets the step on the drive. No, but a foul. I believe B.J. helping out. Got hit with a foul. His first, and now the third on the Bulls.
Volkov driving through the middle, and you're right, trying to get down the lane. B.J. then trying to get out of the way. So Volkov to the line.
Volkov may be a man without a team when the Olympics rolled around. He was a member of the Soviet national team since 1985. Great player for the Soviet Union in Olympic competition.
Out of Kiev University. I love the chicken they served there too, by the way.
Oh, I knew that line was coming. It's just a matter of time. B.J. sets it up for the Bulls. Their lead has been sliced to 2. Here's Michael Jordan, gets a screen from Williams. Rebound kept alive. Levingston chasing down. Volkov with the push. Loose ball foul. Sasha Volkov. His first on Atlanta. Bob Weiss looks on. Bob played on that great, well, in the backcourt of what? Van Leer, Sloan, and Bob Weiss on that team.
Yeah, Weiss was on it. Tommy Borwinkle.
Tommy Borwinkle. Once he had 35 rebounds in a game against you guys. Yeah. 37. Ball tipped away. The steal. Here come the Hawks, led by Cheeks. Tried to thread it through the lane. Wilkins chases down off the deflection. Rasmussen.
Hansen's down on Wilkins. There could be a foul call right away.
Wilkins on the block with the turn. Rebound back tap. Rasmussen to Farrell, and a foul. Foul is going to be on Cliff Levingston. His third, fourth on the team.
Cliff Levingston on the foul.
Rasmussen triggered that ball loose to the outside, and then Farrell knows what to do with it. Scott Williams leaves now, and Horace Grant back on.
Yeah, I thought when Bobby Hansen got down low with Dominique Wilkins that he was going to just grab the foul right away, but he played him pretty good.
Dwayne Farrell at the free throw line. Farrell missing on his first trip to the line. Played with Topeka of the CBA in 1989-90. Last year in 78 games, 6.1 points per ball game for Atlanta. Contributing in a fine fashion for the Hawks thus far this season. Farrell now with 11 points in the game. Armstrong from the outside. BJ with 8. Trap on Farrell, knocked away by Horace Grant. Bulls leading by 3, and Phil Jackson and company, 7:34 to go. Dominique Wilkins. Wilkins being played by Levingston now is the matchup there. Short. Over Hansen. Graham leads it short. B.J. Armstrong on the run to Horace Grant.
Yes, Horace. Nice play by B.J. getting him running, and there's a timeout call by Bobby.
7:17 to go in this one, and the Bulls lead it by 5.
Upper deck trading card. Cam gets a look at B.J. Armstrong giving it to Horace Grant. Horace up with the slam. And I'm going to tell you something, Wayne. Last night, Horace had 28 points in New Jersey. Had all kinds of shots. Could have had 40. Tonight, he's only got 4 shots. He's made 2 of them, and he's rebounding, blocking shots. And he knows this game belongs to Michael and to Scotty and Dominique. But he'll be there.
Wilkins through the foul here. Foul is on Scottie Pippen. That should be his 4th. I got him for 4, Red.
You got it.
5 on the team, so it puts the Bulls over the limit with still over 7 minutes remaining in the game.
Remember, last quarter, they had a chance to take a foul at the end. Hawks only 1 foul here. Dominique Wilkins, 36 points in the game. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Missing on the first. The great ones don't miss the second, though, do they?
Not too many times they miss doubles.
Bulls lead is 4. BJ to Horace Grant. Horace gets it back in among the 7-footers. Augman, the 6'8" guard, to the rebound. Dwayne Farrell lost the handle on it. It's going to go to Chicago.
Well, the Bulls come out of it with a break. Horace missed 2 shots underneath, and then they come down and turn it over.
Take a look at the turnover story. Went on the high end of that dubious category. Jordan wide open. Michael shooting very well. Now has 35. 2 shots, 2 points behind Dominique Wilkins in the mini scoring race for honors in this game. Robinson. 10 to go on the shot clock. Kevin Willis maybe out of his range. Rebound fought for. Augman hits the board and the ground. Traveling the call. I think that Dominique Wilkins on the rebound, and he couldn't keep his footing.
He says, I can't slow this down. Dominique says, can you wait for me? I want to fix my shoe. Billy Hook says, I can't do that anymore.
There's the shot clock. Bulls set it up offensively. Just under 6 minutes to go in the game. Michael Jordan. Scottie Pippen is open.
Yes, beautiful slide pass by Jordan. Scott's hung in a corner. 20-second timeout. Called by now by Atlanta.
34 for Scottie Pippen. 16 of 23 shooting from the floor for Pippen. He and Jordan have combined for 69 of the 101 Chicago points, and the Bulls lead it by 8. On January 7th, when the Bulls battle the Washington Bullets at Sears Grand Central Travel Mug Night, first 10,000 fans entering the stadium will receive a Bulls travel mug compliment of Sears Grand Central.
Scottie had a season high at 28 points so far this season, but he's long gone past that one as he nailed one out of the corner. His career high is 43.
And here are the Hawks resuming. They now have their work cut out for them. The 8-point lead is Chicago's largest of the evening. Hawks had a 10-point lead much of the first half, much of the second period, I should say. They led by 5 at the end of 2 and trailed by 3 at the end of 3 quarters. Wilkins losing to Jordan. Michael to King. Stacy is fouled. I think Ramil Robinson got his money's worth on that foul. Ramil also got poked in the face. Third on Ramil, second on the team.
Upper deck, Cam catches. Stacy being the trailer coming on in. So he's got 2 free throws to shoot here.
Stacy King with 6 points thus far tonight. Double figures in 15 games this year. 11 points, 2 assists, and a rebound at Jersey last night. 7 for Stacy, but Blair Rasmussen back into the lineup for the Hawks. He is the 7-foot jump shooter. Stacy from the line this season. I think you said it best, though. This game belongs to the quick people. Jordan, Pippen, Dominique Wilkins. Michael on the tip, almost had it. Knocked out of bounds. It'll belong to Atlanta.
He missed the shot, the free throw, but Michael was inside. They still turn it over, and here comes Atlanta.
Bulls leading by 9. Robinson to Wilkins. Dominique. Kevin Willis out of the point. 7 to go on the shot clock. 3 to go. They don't get it off. They throw it away. Robinson in the turnover to Grant. Here's Jordan. Feed for Horace Grant. On the drive, leaves it short. Willis the rebound.
Horace says, what do I have to do to get to the free throw line?
Got a cover over the basket for Horace tonight. Rasmussen. Jordan in among the trees. B.J. Armstrong. Pippen triggers it loose to B.J.
Yes, yes, yes. And there's a timeout called by Bobby coming up. He wants a timeout. They won't give it to him. Now they do.
4:21 left to go in this one. Bob Weiss and company at 1 point and a 10-point lead. They now trail by 11. With our producer-director, Arnie Harris, Wayne Larrabee, and Johnny Red Kerr. And so far, the Bulls are going in this 4th period of play. They have now built an 11-point lead. Look at that. Talk about putting the clamps on defensively. Hawks haven't scored in a while. Almost 5 minutes. Scored from the field in almost 5 minutes. Augman to Rasmussen. Willis. Tip is there by Stacey Augman.
Good play. They've really put the clamps on Kevin Willis. Kevin Willis is 4 for 19 from the field, but Augman wrapped that one back in.
Bulls work the perimeter. Under 10 to go on the shot clock now. Michael will manufacture here. Nicely done.
He did. He stumbled into that one. He wanted to go to the right so bad they wouldn't let him that he reversed back. Made a left-handed layup.
Robinson to Willis. Been a tough night shooting for Willis. He does have 15 rebounds. Robinson for 3. Grant blocked out well on the rebound. Bulls trying to put this one away. Horace Grant, Scottie Pippen. Picked up by Wilkins. Pippen leans in. Rebound batted over to Rasmussen. Blair Rasmussen plays it ahead. Dominique Wilkins.
He's tough in the open court. All right. They make him stop. He comes at you, boy. He is tough.
He's been quiet in this fourth period, though, John.
Yeah, well, they all have. They've got 11 points in this quarter.
Wilkins on the drive against the shot clock and Scottie Pippen, and Pippen picks up the foul. That's number 5 for Scottie. Penalty situation in effect.
There's played him pretty good that time. And
watch it from this angle above.
Well, I mentioned that Chris Mullen and Clyde Drexler had 38, and now Wilkins joins them this year.
38 for Dominique.
Points against an opponent, against the Bulls.
Not a pleasant trip back to Chicago Stadium for Bob Weiss, former Bull, now the head coach of Atlanta. 39 for Dominique Wilkins. The Atlanta Hawks down by 9. Pippen out front. Here's Michael Jordan. Gets the step on the drive. Nice dish, Stacey King. Oh, boy. 9 for Stacey. Michael is such a creative playmaker. We all dwell on his scoring so much, but boy, what he does with the ball on a pass.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's sitting. MJ was sitting. He's sitting on a triple-double here. He's got 8 assists in the game. He's got 9 rebounds. Don't worry about the points.
He's got plenty of those. 37 points. That enough?
2 minutes, yes.
Inside of 2 minutes to go. The Bulls leading it by 11.
Oh, Scotty, take a look at it.
Pippen.
It was there.
King on the tip. No. Willis, the rebound, stripped by Stacey King. Willis regains. Augman to Robinson. Ramil lost the handle on it. Almost double dribble. Tipped away by Grant. Picked up by Wilkins, and he transitions into 2 more points. 41 for Dominique. Tell you what, in this game, you've got a hit on the fly. Time winding down in the game. 1.5 minutes to go. Scottie Pippen. Bulls going to finish off the Hawks here. Jordan. 4 to go on the shot clock. Rebound Wilkins. Breaks it across the lead. Augman. Knocked out of bounds. And
Jordan already on a foul.
Yeah, they've got Jordan on a foul. You're right.
They give Michael a foul. A little late whistle. Thought he missed the shot, but they'll shoot 2 free throws there. Scotty says, I don't know. I was waiting for it. So Augman goes up. Michael did get him on the left arm.
Yep.
Good call. So the Hawks a chance to break in 100 points here. The Bulls have been stingy in that area, giving up only 99.
Augman with 14 points tonight. Came in averaging around 11 points per ball game. And he makes good on a pair. 15 for Stacey Augman. Hawks are in triple digits. Bulls lead by 7.
Let's get this last 60 seconds over.
Under a minute to go now. Jordan feeds B.J. Armstrong in rhythm.
Right, he caught that ball and just took it up. Do we want to take a timeout, Bobby? Yes, we do, Blair.
9-point lead, Chicago Bulls, and 55.1 seconds left to go at Chicago Stadium for Bob Weiss and Company. The producer-director of Bulls basketball is Arnie Harris. Our coordinating producer, Bill Borson. And our associate producer, Joe Cornell. Well, Red Kerr and myself and the whole crew, we wish you the best for the holiday season and the coming new year. Robinson for 3.
Let me ask you a question. Am I wrong, or the Bulls only give them 16 points so far this quarter?
I think you're right. B.J. Well, B.J. Armstrong with a flurry here in this fourth period of play is up to 14 points, and the Hawks throw it away to belong to the Bulls. Atlanta played well, really, for 3 periods. They trailed by 3 at the end of 3 quarters, but really the clamps were coming down in that 3rd period. The Hawks played well in the first 2 quarters. Bulls started to get back together defensively and put the clamps on them in the 3rd. Bulls led by 3 going into the 4th, and the Hawks have been no match here in the 4th quarter.
I think you can put the hot chocolate on. We'll be coming home pretty soon.
Time winding down. B.J. Armstrong leads it short. Horace Grant. Yeah. Hey, they took the rim off the bucket. 9 for Horace. Wilkins. Scottie Pippen just moves out of the way. Dominique. Double pump for 2. Wilkins 43 here tonight.
Bulls may not take another shot.
They don't have to. Final 10 seconds. Scottie Pippen for 3. 37 for Scottie. Robinson misses off the rim. Dominique Wilkins, Scottie Pippen shake hands, and Michael Jordan heads off. Those 3 scored the majority of the points. Wilkins 43, Pippen and Jordan 37 apiece here tonight. As the Bulls head off with the victory, they're 20th in 24 games. They are now 10-2 at home, and the Hawks fall to 12-13, 5-8 on the road. We'll be back to wrap it up from Chicago Stadium when we continue. Our AT&T long-distance play of the game, Michael Jordan lights it up early from 3-point range, and the Chicago Bulls go on to defeat the Atlanta Hawks here tonight. Quite a ball game, outstanding ball game. You know, the Bulls gave up, 37 points in the first period alone. They gave up 38 points in the entire second half.
The Bulls did an outstanding job. They turned the screws. I didn't think they were ever going to get back defensively. Maybe that was the game plan. They know this team likes to get out and run. Dominique Wilkins, we talked about he and Michael Jordan. We asked Phil Jackson before the game what makes a superstar. He says, watch these 2 guys, what they do for their team. Well, they've got young players that are coming along going to help them. But Michael had Scottie Pippen tonight. There was plenty of help. He did a great job.
Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, 37 apiece. Dominique Wilkins, 43 points. That's what everybody came to see. The human highlight films, and I underline the word films, plural, tonight. For John Red Kerr, the Swain Larrabee, again, the final score. The Chicago Bulls, 117, and the Atlanta Hawks, 103. Stay tuned for the news. And our next telecast at Channel 9 will be the Chicago Bulls and the Indiana Pacers. Monday night, December 30th. Our telecast begins at 6:30 p.m. Good night, everybody.
Chicago Bulls basketball has been brought to you by Miller Lite, an official sponsor of the Bulls. It's it, and that's that. Your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Toyota dealers. Toyota, I love what you do for me. American Airlines, we mean business in Chicago. And True Value, got a tough job to do? You can do it with True Value hardware stores.